Imagine, kung bago-bagong VA ang nakuha nito, nakuyari na. Let's talk about clients who refuse to pay and what you can do as a virtual assistant if this happens to you. Hi, I'm Mary. I teach people how to start working from home. Let's talk about this client who owes me $400, refused to pay, what I learned from it, and what you guys can learn from my experience. Kasi I can only imagine paano kung baguhang VA pala yung nakuha niya. Siguro, ili-let go na lang, tapos didibdibin ng VA. Syempre, kailangan niya ng outlet, ikikwento niya, sasabihin niya, pangit mag-work from home kasi may mga scammer, ang daming scammer and all that shit. When in reality, meron naman talagang businesses that would look legit, pero hindi pa rin nagbabayad. And this is exactly what happened to me. Heads up, I did my due diligence. I have completed all agreed tasks, even went above and beyond. Kasi yung banner sa social media ni client ngayon, yun. Ako gumawa nun. And it's not even part of the deal. But I told her, wala ka leads. Kailangan mo ayusin yung social media mo. Pero, nung na-deliver na ang everything, SOPs, workspace created, process, everything, biglang access revoked. At biglang kini-question ko ano daw yung dineliver ko. And then, napakahabang email thread na. Andun na yung gaslighting, manipulation. Alam mo yung classic avoidance move? As an experienced freelancer, I know for a fact that I need to back up everything. Screenshots, messages, signed service agreement, I have proof. Kaya, dun sa mga nagiging challenge natin every year, lagi kong sinasabi, document your journey. And it's not just because I want you to film yourself doing whatever. It is because I want you to practice documenting everything. Kasi sa remote work setting, yung documentation mo, yung iyong magiging boss weapon. Gusto mo yun? If ever na kayo ay ayaw bayaran ng client, the very first thing that you need to do is document. Make sure that you have the timeline of the project. What have you completed? How did you submit it? Where did you submit it? Did the client acknowledge receipt? Next, paano mo nakuha tong client na to? Sa mga platforms ba? Kasi if sa platform, ang una mong pagre-reportan is yung support team ng platform. In my case, online jobs. So when you connect with the support team, make sure that you explicitly say, this client refused to pay, because that is a big thing for platforms when clients refuse to pay. Now, some people would defer to posting to social media to give warning na rin to other VAs or freelancers who might want to work with them. However, you have to be extra careful during this tedious process ng paniningil. The very first question you have to ask is this worth it? As for me, worth it siya. Kasi ayoko nang may mga ganong clients na palalabasin na sinungaling. Ayoko talaga naman yung mga client na babalik na rin yung kwento dahil ayaw magbayad. I mean, you can just tell me na wala kang enough ng budget and we can talk about deferred payments. Alam mo yun, ang dami namang ways eh. But when you post on social media to give people warning, you want to focus on ano yung naging roadblock and then make sure that you provide solution, which is actually how I create my contents. I see a problem and this is how I solved it. I document my journey. I want to share it with everyone who wants to learn how to start working from home then, because I'm pretty sure at one point in your freelancing life, you will also encounter people like this. And this is what you do. First, again, if sa platform mo nakuha, you report sa platform. You really want to have an outlet, express yung nararamdaman mo, but at the same time, share kung paano mong niresolve yun, then go right ahead. You have your right to your social media accounts. But make sure, ito yung pinakang effective. No insults, no emotional language, no defamation or speculation, just pure facts. Because you want to make sure that whatever you post reads clean, malinaw kung ano yung ginawa ng client, especially if it escalates internally or legally. You want to keep all communication and documentation professional, safe, and factual. Do not engage emotionally or argue back. Stick to facts and documentation. Use proper channel. If nakikipag-communicate sa'yo si client by email, go ahead and do it via email. For example, dito sa case ko, ang kausap ko na is client and online job support. So, dalawa silang nakakopy doon para kita ng platform. I am focused solely on getting paid. At kapag hindi pa rin sila nagbayad, here's something that you need to consider. If it is less than $500, it may not be worth pursuing legally, especially naka-remote tayo dito tayo sa Pinas. Unless you know somebody in the US na pwedeng mag-file for you or can send the demand letter. In my case, I do. So, medyo malakas-lakas ang loob ko dun sa part na yon. Still, di ba, yung hassle at saka yung energy. So, kung kaya namang i-resolve ng walang ganung pangyayari, then why not? Pwede nyo padalhan na demand letter si client. Merong mga offices din sa US who can help you out with this. And that's more on the legal side na, hindi na ako ang expert doon. Pero, at the end of the day, you as a virtual assistant, you as a freelancer, if this ever happens to you, number one, kailangan matibay ang loob mo. Kailangan magaling ka na mag-regulate ng nervous system mo. Pangalawa, you have to also be able to learn how to protect yourself legally. Do your due diligence. And again, even if you do your due diligence, there's no guarantee pa rin. So, the next best thing that you can do is ask for a down payment. So, bago ka mag-start ng work, you ask for a down payment. Now, this is the tricky part. Kasi bakit at paano ka naman pagtitiwalaan ng clients. So, we'll talk about that in a separate video. I-comment nyo na lang dyan if meron pa kayong mga questions about what I do, how I do my due diligence, how I research about the clients, what do I want to know about them prior to even considering working with them. Also, a moment of silence para sa napakaganda kong mga bagong notebooks na gagamitin ko para mag-document ng aking journey. Oh my God! Uy, ang ganda nito. So this is a notebook that I got. It's so pretty. And if you guys know me, alam niyo mahilig ako sa notebook. Probably do a giveaway ng ganito. Kasi walk sa inyo kung hindi kayo mahilig mag-journal, girl, going back, after you do your due diligence, make sure that you have your service agreement, the contract service agreement. If wala pa si client na ganon, i-comment nyo na rin lang dyan. Pwede kayong gumawa ng sarili ninyong contract. But this is just CYA. So to cover your and more of something in writing na meron kayong meeting of minds is what my lawyer told me, na alam nyo na may meeting of minds. Now, if and only if after doing your due diligence, nandiyan pa rin si client na hindi nagbabayad, then you proceed to what I told you earlier. Kung sa platform nyo sila na-meet, you report to the platform. This is also, side note, the reason why I like working with Upwork online jobs is because they have the support team to help me out. Especially Upwork, because Upwork, if you're an early sa Upwork, kahit may ongoing dispute, bayad ka. Do not argue, stick to facts. And last but definitely not the least, even at the start of the relationship, make sure that you are protecting yourself legally, record any aggressive messages, document your journey, process your feelings, but learn how to control your nervous system. I hope this helps. Comment any questions you guys have about working from home and follow for more work from home chismis. Bye!